See, there we are.
What's up? It's well, it's a Saturday, right?
Yeah.
It's a Saturday, and today we're here at the what park?
This is the historic LA Historic Park.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little 1 mile trail. There's there's plenty of runners actually.
Today,
So
yeah.
you can see. Yeah. So
We're here. We're gonna do some light running, catch up a little bit. It's a good day already, and it just started.
let's start.
Oh, okay.
Okay. They closed half the park.
I guess we're doing twice the laps.
Yeah, that's no fun, but okay, whatever.
These ones are running faster. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, I guess there's. Look. Put up some concert or something. Well, that's lame. We closed the park so that we can let other people do something. What does it say? Tyndall? World vegan domination. The vegans are taking over. They will eventually. Oh, maybe we can keep going this way. It's like some sort of a vegan. See, look at the piggy. You got a picture of a piggy. Piggy is your friend. Don't eat piggy. The vegans are taking over.
Yeah, I forgot who it was. But like, you see that thing where it's like, how come vegans want meat so bad? They're making like meat that's not meat, but why can't it just be that?
Because it converts the non-vegans.
Oh.
They don't care for it much. Many of them are quite all right forgetting about, and in the end, that's the whole point. Forget about using it. Let me get here. Oh, I didn't even start. Yeah. We started up late. One thing about using a gimbal that I'll tell you, at least if you ever film yourself while walking or running, is you don't get as tired.
What?
You don't get as tired. We're doing 12:30. This thing sometimes it reads low until for like a minute.
Oh, it's better than reading fast.
Yeah. Anyway, I need to take it easy. Although we should at least try to stick to 10-minute miles.
Right.
Because 12-minute miles are just too slow. It's not the slowness right now. It's that 12-minute miles are going to drive you crazy when you feel like it's taking 2 hours for you to finish what would have finished in an hour. That's what when I discuss with others, the thing that annoys me most about running slow is that it feels like it's going to take like twice as long. It really doesn't, but it feels like it.
Like track of all your times, you know, so you more than ever, like, don't wait too slow.
Yes. But it's a perceptual thing that you feel like you're going to get super slow. You really don't. But it feels like it. You lose your patience with yourself.
I like the Nike run out because I couldn't get close to my best time. And like, of course not, 'cause it's your best time, you know. It takes time to beat it again. But after like 3 weeks, I was like, I'm so done with this, I'm angry. And I can't get better.
Well, because you're going to hit your limit.
Yeah.
If you hit your limit, there's no point. I mean, you should run like what you do. Ideally, if I actually had running ability, I wouldn't even use an app. So I agree with that. But the problem is that if you don't have the instinct to, you know, to regulate your pace, my problem was always I ran too fast for my ability.
We go from here.
We turn around.
Lame. That's some coffees.
Yeah, I know.
I need coffee puff cheeks.
Actually, even when it opens, we were only going to run about 100 feet out anyway. So this limit isn't that bad. It's the one over there that kind of sucks. Because it looks like it cut our loop in half.
Yeah.
So instead of doing 8 loops, we'll have to do 16. And that very number is just like getting on my nerves. Yeah, I need to remind myself, like when I go on the long hikes, when we did San Gorgonio,
Yeah.
don't think about the distance, because you'll just lose your mind.
I was losing it once it kept looking like the top, like the last 2 hours.
Yeah.
I was like, you're like, I'm not gonna tell you. I'll just tell you when we're right about to be there. Like the last 5 minutes, I'm like,
But it feels like it's forever to get there, right?
yeah. Especially when it was however long it was. As long as I never done.
When you're talented at something, you forget how hard it was to learn something. Well, first of all, because you're talented, you never had to bother with some early stages. You'll see, you know, like math tutors, they'll be like, when you need help with a math problem, they'll do the steps, and it's like in 3 steps, they'll do what took you like 10 steps, because they can do those in their mind. And all you end up is just frustrating. It's like, what the hell did he just show me? When me and Francisco would work, we'd always try to do, no, let's go every single bloody step. Same thing here with running is what I'm saying, which is, you know, most talented runners, they forget about that pain. They feel some, but they got so much positive feedback that they forget. This is where I will show them, no, there's plenty of pain. And as a matter of fact, when you're a beginner and you don't have that positive feedback because you're like 220 pounds, it won't feel like any pleasure. It'll feel like nothing but pain. And all I tell them is, just keep doing it. And little by little, also improve your form, you know, run with a higher cadence. All these little things will help. But these are all things that once you say it, like, duh, that's obvious. Not to a beginner. Not to a beginner. A beginner doesn't know most of those things.
So, what advice would you give to new people? Not just in running, but in everything. There has to be some advice you've gotten from doing all that. You know, your tutoring, your education, running. What is it?
I don't know if I could give them one, but at least as far as it relates to exercise, just get out the door. But how do you convince yourself to get out? Because that's sometimes the hardest part. Like yesterday was my leg day. And honestly, you know, I squatted, like 325, I think?
Nice.
Yeah. Well, that weight scares me. Right now, thinking about it, it scares me. I don't think I can do it. Thing is, how do I get myself out there? Because I'm like this, just like my mother would be, which is, wait, you're gonna break your back carrying so much weight. You're gonna herniate your discs or something. Yes, I feel exactly that same fear. But then I remember, there's people who squat 600 pounds, 800, I think even 1,000 pounds. So it's not physiologically impossible. But I remind myself, I've been doing this for years. I still feel like it still feels impossible to me. I say this because when I go on runs too, sometimes runs will feel impossible to me. So how do I get myself out the door? I tell myself, you know what? Yeah, but we're not doing that. I lie to myself. In a way, my body knows that I'm lying, but
Lap 2,
I am
11:56.
sincere.
Heart rate 108. Average pace 11:47.
But I'm also sincere. I'm actually sincere. In other words, I'm not just lying like a blunt lie. I really do feel like I'm just going to take it easy. So when I went to the gym, I sincerely went and I told myself, yeah, we're just going to do the squats. We're not going to go to max weight. We're only going to do a certain amount. We're only going to do 275, which for me isn't that bad. It's once you're there that, as I've described to everyone, you've got this monster. We've all got different people inside of us. And once I was actually doing the squatting, then that the inner monster, the drill instructor, starts pushing me to do more. And then I start lifting more. So he comes out once I'm at the gym. That's the whole thing. Probably that it's very old. Although it's only in the past like 10 years that I think they refurbished it and made it look nice. Yeah, well, because all this part of LA, like 10, 15 years ago, and older than that, this used to be all garbage, really ugly. But they've gentrified it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's a lot of what this was. This was like south of Chinatown.
Explains the
Yeah. But it used to be kind of ugly. So I guess they beautified it maybe like 10, 15 years ago. I'm not sure, but I do recall years ago it was pretty ugly out here. So it's only in the last few years that it's improved. See that guy, he's running too fast. First of all, because he's breathing with his mouth open. You're right. Well, I'm not judging, and I don't judge in terms of saying that he's a bad runner or anything. I think it's great he's out there. But if you run too fast, if all you're doing is running too fast, you're more likely to suffer knee problems or just discourage yourself. You want running to be sustainable. Especially, remember, I was talking when I talk to the runners I talk to, which are non-runners, beginners. Beginners are too likely to overstress themselves, and then they end up wrecked, and then they never want to do it again. So in my focus, when I focus, I try to remind them, don't go too hard. I know I do, but at least learn from me. Try to have some sort of sustainability in your running pattern so that you don't wreck yourself, because that's the big problem with doing that, is it kind of looks cool, and we live in a culture that admires pushing yourself all the time. And it's like, no. For long-term running, you just must not do that. You run. You know, even though it hurts your ego, remember what I said when someone passes me up? It hurts my ego. It makes me cry. I hate myself. But that's the run I need. I need most of them to be like that. Yeah. That's my whole point. But you're right. If he's just finishing or if he's just doing a single sprint. Exactly. That is good. Yeah.
long hair who smoked a lot of stuff. Just like autism friendly, but what you don't see is the process of before you even ollie, you gotta learn how to skate. You gotta learn how to balance. Take my butt, the guy with really weak toes like
Uh-huh.
how would you balance? Those first 3 days, skateboarding, man, I couldn't be on the board with 2 feet standing still. I would stand on it, it would just wobble.
Uh-huh.
I have no balance. Nothing. So how can I expect myself to on the board just do ollie? That's what we've done. So this is fall in love with the process. Those things you want to do,
Uh-huh.
goals that are more long-term. You already know. Everybody always hears it. Bad goals can make you quit.
Yeah. You're right. That I see in the gym. New lifters will come and they see one of their friends who, as a beginner, you know, because you're always going to have a few kids who are already like Baby Huey. He was from an old cartoon a long time ago. He was this baby chicken who was gigantic. And he was super strong. So whenever you see somebody that's super strong, that's why I call them Baby Huey. Anyway, we all know somebody like that. The whole point was, you know, when friends like that, they'll go to the gym and their one friend like can already bench 300 and he's never gone. And everybody wants to try to bench 300.
Of course, that's 300's a number, man.
Yeah. Hell, I can't. I can only bench 275.
Man.
And I've been doing it all my life.
I guess that's how steroids become so appealing, huh?
In part,
You
yes.
get there fast enough, but it feels like you hit a wall.
Because some Baby Huey can do it without even having gone to the gym.
That'll always be the case, huh?
Yes.
It'll always be.
Just like there'll also always be this kid runner who never even practices or anything, and yet he'll smoke you.
Or that one kid who explained the fourth dimension at like 12.
Yeah. There's always people with talent, and we just can't compare ourselves with those people who already have that talent. Similar to what you just said, there's some people who just have that balance. And they're gonna skate like Tony Hawk right from the beginning.
So it sounds like before you even did the track, you gotta gain some ego, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Realize that's why I tell everybody that I suck as a runner. I don't have to bother with it too much. I don't have to convince anyone. And if it turns out that they're faster than me, hey, that's what I said.
It is what it is.
You don't have an ego. Yeah, like I said, you don't have much of an ego to protect it. And when I was telling you why I upload most of my runs, for the same reason. One, because it keeps me honest. I keep working out because I have to upload.
That's awesome.
But because I already know that at this moment nobody cares, I don't worry. I don't feel insecure about uploading my runs, even if my time, like right now, I feel a little though. This running time.
Yourself. It's not like you feel the judging eyes of you. What would you care about seeing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Life really is a mindset thing.
Yeah. You're playing frisbee, right?
Yeah.
But you know what's funny? Is once I'm looking over there, I realize how often I'm actually looking at the ground because all this gravel on this road is quite painful if I'm not looking carefully. Yeah. So me barefoot, it should be worse. Although, as long as I'm looking, that's what I'm trying to say though. As long as I'm looking, I can handle it. Because I'm evading things, that's my point. It's almost subconscious though, that I evade obstacles. As long as my vision is this way, when I look that way and I stop looking, I run into more little rocks. Life is a metaphor. Yeah.
Some people need to get humbled every now and then, though.
Exactly.
Good hike is the equivalent of a good spanking, man.
Yes.
You'll learn your face right quick. Dude, like when you went to the mountains barefoot.
Yes.
That was the best thing.
I'll be able to do it eventually again. Although what I just need to do is just not go so fast. I need to take my time. Got a mile and a half. But isn't he doing that because he's pulling too hard and he's getting choked? Yeah. Maybe you put a harness on them.
Yeah.
If they're too boisterous.
Dog is a good dog. And then he would yank, turn around, and free himself. Man, he didn't really care if I tightened it too tight. He just flipped over. You gotta get that harness.
Yeah. So they don't get choked too much.
Lap 7, 12 minutes. Heart rate 110. Average pace 1122.
This thing's advertising how bad we are.
Whatever. Not like anyone did it good.
Yeah. Okay.
Look, that's one of the best things.
Yeah.
Remember? That's CGP great. Another great video I see, right?
Yes.
Have you seen the one, The Tale of Timothy?
Which one's that one?
One day, he looks in a book of the origin of the name Tiffany. My bad.
Oh, Tiffany.
Tiffany.
Yes, that one. Actually, yes. That was awesome. They made 2 videos of it.
Yeah, the sequel I did not see coming. Now I'm late. That was like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I only saw this maybe a couple months back. I was like, man, I missed out. That's
Well, no, you're right, because when you first see the title, to me, it's like, why would I care?
but you never know.
But the guy tells such a good story that he makes it. See, that's what I just said. I'm so in awe of these people who can tell such great stories. I can tell okay stories, but I need to practice so much more to approach their level. Yeah.
What's up, man?
Here we are. Yeah. Got 1100, so let's keep going. Yeah. This grass is like a carpet, man. It's fancy people grass.
Lap 9, 10:58. Heart rate 112. Average pace 11:19.
8.14, 8.15. There we go. 8.15. So how'd that feel, man?
What I like most about parks is that there's an easy way to track the progress. Now, I run through it. So you can call me biased. The way I see it, when you run a full lap around the park, starting point, end point is where you started, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you remember how much that is, you know how much you're doing, how much you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
You get to see people, it's always good. Sun, hey, there's shade, there's a break, water fountains, you want to bring a dog, there's duty bags. A great place to go. But I would separate first.
You're right. One thing for me though, for loops always just drive me crazy.
Yeah. Knowing how many you.
Yeah, well, it goes back to the whole me not liking to run. Although it's funny because I've met runners, like half of them hate loops and half of them love them. And the half that hate, because you're either a lover of loops or you're a lover of long, like me. I like long single trails. Like whatever I'm gonna run, just run the whole thing half in one direction and the other half in the other direction.
Maybe it's the turning. You do lose some pacing by turning.
It starts to seem monotonous to me that I'm doing the same thing.
It's all perspective. You want to hike, done it more than once.
Yeah, but the last time you did it was like at least a couple of months ago. Whereas a loop, you're running, you're seeing that you just saw it a few minutes ago.
You have a good perspective. That's the thing about running in anything, right? People find their way of liking it.
Yeah, no. That's what I'm saying. That's why I've noticed that there's those two. For me, the big reason that I like long straight tracks is for the very same reason, that because I didn't like running. It was a way to force myself to run distances. Because if I want to run 8 miles or 10,
You just want to,
in a loop,
you can feel it.
I'm losing my mind.
It feels like
It counts like
you're
far.
Yeah.
When you're at mile 2, you're like, it's not over yet. Oh my God, I am not.
Whereas on the hike, all you think about is following that trail. That's nice.
Now, and once you go at your maximum distance, it's not like you have a choice. That's the Oh well. Whereas on a loop, you can kind of give up early. You can give up on the third run, on the third loop. Give up early, and you lose nothing. You always have that easy out.
Well, that's the cost of accessibility, isn't it?
The easy out. Whereas on a long trail,
Well, easy in, easy out, right?
yeah. If I run 7 miles, I can't. I'm all the way out.
Back.
Yeah.
And that has its own merit too, Think about hiking. Most of the time, they do a big loop rather than having to take the same trail back. So you're always seeing something new, New challenge.
Yeah.
Also, you're trying to beat the sun. You better beat the sun. You have to beat the sun.
Yeah. You don't want it to get too dark. Well, that was our run for today. And George, I'm actually glad we should do more of these like that.
We should. Everyone should.
Okay, so I'll see you guys later.
Take care, everybody.